Good evening, everyone. CB Weather Team 9 meteorologist Nathan John joining you for this edition of Nate at 8. And boy, dreary and wet day across the Ohio Valley, but picking up on some much needed rain, and the dreary wet conditions, they don't last long. We're right back to blue skies and sunshine, just resuming as we get into tomorrow, and that will carry over even into the weekend. A lot of sunshine ahead for us. And yes, it's going to be a quick end to these showers and cloud cover likely tomorrow morning, as a lot of sunshine will break back out. So that's what we're going to be touching on for this edition of Nate at 8. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. The dry weather, the sunshine continues, but the cool temperatures remain. So we'll map out just how cool we look to get as we go throughout this week. And we're also going to be touching on some breezy winds for tomorrow. A breeze in place in general likely over the next couple of days. We'll break down just how high some of those wind speeds can be. Starting off those temperatures right now into the 60s, and our temperatures will drop back in the 50s as we extend into tomorrow morning. As temperatures do drop off, we'll see winds even start to pick up a little bit overnight. Still dealing with some showers in place across the area, but as you can see, these showers are starting to become more scattered in nature. So this is where we talked about, if you joined me at News 9 Live at 5, 6 as well, that we talked about the rain will taper to more of a shower activity. So this is more of our shower activity now, where it's a little more scattered in nature. Now, still could deal with some drizzle outside of these showers as we extend into the overnight hours. I wouldn't say that we are completely dry overnight, but that more steady rain that we had in place for a lot of today is tapering back to some showers and more patchy drizzle, even a little bit of fog. As winds pick up, it'll be harder for that fog to keep its formation, but is some potential for a little bit of fog in addition to some drizzle as we go overnight. You can see that another round of more organized line of showers as we look back further towards our west with the cold front itself. So once we see that pass as we get into the second half of tonight is when we will start to see a drying trend. So we're going to notice, at least here leading up to midnight, a little bit after, that we're still contending with some of these showers, some drizzle. Past that is when we'll start to notice that decrease in coverage of showers, drizzle, and even cloud cover, all leading into tomorrow morning's commute. So by the morning commute, we will likely have dried up and we see an end to the drizzle, and we even start to see a break in the cloud cover, likely even around that point as well. So the timing of this is going to be really a sharp cutoff, just like what we're seeing looking back to Illinois, Indiana, sharp cutoff in the rain and the cloud cover likely ahead for tomorrow morning. In terms of how much rain locations picked up for today, we saw some higher amounts for locations along and south of I-70. Radar estimated upwards of an inch and a half for a lot of those locations, even closer to 2 inches, where you're seeing that red located towards especially Noble County. It was upwards of about a half of an inch, about a quarter to a half of an inch for a lot of the amounts looking at locations north of I-70. And additional rainfall at this point is going to remain light for us as we go through the remainder of the night, and likely not going to deal with too much of pockets of more moderate to heavy rain. If we were to see some, there's still potential of upwards a half inch, maybe a little more. But for a lot of us, it's likely just a trace to a quarter of an inch. I think that's where a lot of us are going to stay within that range. I don't think we're going to sneak in too much more additional moderate or heavy rain. So the future cast may be overdoing some of these amounts that you're seeing. And again, a lot of us, it's going to be light, anywhere from just a trace to up to a quarter of an inch. I think that's where the vast majority of us are going to reside in for additional rainfall amounts as we go through the night before we do dry back up by tomorrow morning. So there's a look at midnight, still dealing with the showers across the area at this point. Again, still some drizzle potential, maybe a little bit of fog in spots. But once we get past this, and even slow it down even more, you'll notice as we extend, getting closer to about 4 o'clock even, that a lot of this showers and drizzle is going to start to come to an end. So even by the early morning hours, we're starting to see some dry conditions return. And then notice what happens if we advance it a little bit further to 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Not only are we likely seeing dry conditions for the morning commute, but at this point, we can even see some sun starting to break out after sunrise in that morning hours. So we can see that sun quickly return tomorrow, in addition to some dry conditions, low temperatures ending up in the lower 50s likely tomorrow morning. And from there, despite a lot of sun, likely only make it around the mid 60s tomorrow afternoon. But again, a lot of sunshine. It can be gorgeous as we go throughout your Wednesday. Now, from there, with a lot less cloud cover, drier air in place following that cold front passage tonight, We will be watching because temperatures are going to really drop off likely here over the following not tonight. Again, we're in the 50s, but tomorrow night into Thursday morning and Friday morning. So Thursday night and Friday morning. So Thursday and Friday morning are the two mornings to watch because we will likely be seeing these temperatures really drop off at that point, and we can end up into the 30s going into Thursday and Friday morning. And those low temperatures, I think it'll be more just into the 30s on Thursday morning, where the potential for frost is more isolated. I can't be ruled out, but it's certainly more isolated. And then once we get into Friday morning is when I can see those temperatures likely dip another degree or two below what we're going to see Thursday. And that can present a little more scattered frost potential. So still patchy, right, in nature, but it can be, a few more instances of frost into Friday morning with respect to Thursday morning. Now, we're not anticipating right now to get cold enough for widespread frost across the area. It's still likely more upper 30s into Friday morning, but we can see a little more frost across the area Friday morning with respect to Thursday morning. We're not anticipating to drop lower 30s where widespread frost is likely. We're not getting that cold, so it is likely going to be more patchy in nature, but nonetheless, just watch Thursday and Friday. Chilly start, so keep that in mind. You may want to dig out some warmer layers and some jackets to wear, as it's going to be quite chilly as we go throughout these mornings. Again, not so much tomorrow morning, but certainly Thursday and Friday morning. And even what we see Saturday morning, I think will hold 40. And if anything, fog can start to develop as dew points start to pick up into the weekend. And I think we really limit how cool we'll get. It's not that it's much warmer Saturday morning, but at that point, we'll start to turn the corner and trend a little bit warmer for these mornings, likely going into next week, where those low temperatures can get back into the 40s. So that's some of the things to really watch for at this point, right? Because we're drying back up. It's going to be really quiet as we go to the weekend, but the series of some pretty chilly mornings, Thursday and Friday, is certainly something to highlight. Something else is tomorrow, the wind speeds. Again, not that this is going to be really impactful when we're not dealing with damaging winds, but certainly we'll notice it. It's going to be quite breezy tomorrow. Wind gusts upwards of at least 25 miles per hour. Winds sustained 10, 15 miles per hour. So we'll notice that breeze with those cooler temperatures for your Wednesday. Still a slight breeze Thursday, so wind speeds upwards of 10, gust maybe 15, 20 miles per hour. So not as breezy Thursday, but still a slight breeze. Friday is the day where we really start to notice some lighter winds that will be in place. That's when winds really start to die down, is by Friday. But over the next couple of days, a breeze in place, especially for your Wednesday, with those wind gusts upwards of 25 miles per hour. And again, we will be drying back up then likely as we do extend into the weekend. That chance of rain over the next 5 days is slight at most. And again, I think there's great odds that by tomorrow morning's commute, that will likely be dry, maybe something isolated lingering a little bit before that. So we'll throw in a slight chance Wednesday. Models today, we're hinting at maybe sneaking in some showers Sunday, but I'm certainly not sold on it. We'll throw in a slight chance right now, at least for Sunday. But overall, this is back to a overall dry stretch again, likely mainly dry for certain as we go over the next 5 days, and even extending into early next week as well. Likely we're getting back into good odds for another prolonged dry spell coming our way. So our high temperatures over the next 10 days, again, there's our cool 60s, mid 60s Wednesday, even lower 60s Thursday. We'll climb back closer to 70 Friday, but likely come up short. Then we'll be around 70 Saturday, Sunday. And there's the warm up that follows next week. I do think we can get back further into the 70s. We'll see if we can sneak our way closer to 80. It's going to be a tough task. Maybe we could get at least closer to 80, but as it stands now, coming up short, and we'll at least climb back further into the 70s, likely in the middle of next week. And then another cool down looks to follow going into the following weekend. As you can see, high temperatures in that following Friday look to drop back into the 60s. So likely a little bit up and down again, looking ahead into next week. A warm up into the middle, and then a cool down for the latter part of next week is looking likely as well. Catch up on some comments for this edition of Nate at 8. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Austin, good evening. Today was a nice day to stay inside and watch the rain. Yes, indeed. Nice day to stay inside. Want to wish lots of hope and prayers for the legendary country queen, Dolly Parton. Austin says, thank you so much for joining Austin, as always. And Carol, you as in Joe, both of you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for the update. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate it. And good evening, Joe. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Nate at 8. So again, temperatures a bit up and down here over the next 10 days. It'll be still cool as we go into Friday. Then a little bit of warm up follows into the middle of next week, and then another cool down likely into the following weekend. And of course, when it comes to the temperatures, again, the low temperatures is more of the highlight than those high temperatures. Not too far from that normal high this time of the year, which is in the 60s, but these lows are a little more unseasonably cool, especially Thursday, Friday. You notice that average low is in the 40s this time of the year, but not quite the 30s. So we'll be trending below normal when it comes to those temperatures by Thursday and Friday morning, falling into the 30s. And then again, by Saturday, back closer to 40, and then into the 40s for a low Sunday. And that will carry over with those lows in the 40s again early next week. But Thursday and Friday, those are the two mornings to highlight where some of us can wake up to some frost. And from there, still quite chilly Saturday, but likely a little warmer with respect to Thursday and Friday. And then still chilly, but certainly a bigger warm up than by Sunday with those low temperatures, even towards the mid 40s. So your 9+1 day forecast, sunny skies, Thursday, Friday to Saturday, just another gorgeous stretch of weather. Even tomorrow, there's a lot of sun breaking back tomorrow. So a lot of sunshine ahead as we go into the weekend and even into early next week. A lot of sunshine just in general with us. We'll be watching for the potential for some showers in around the middle of next week with that cool down. Still not real set on the precise timing of that rain, but we'll watch around the middle of next week. We can end up with another round of some showers coming our way, and we'll make sure to pinpoint the timing of that once we gain more confidence of that cold front passage. But we certainly can see some showers around the middle of next week, and maybe sneaking some in Sunday. Again, not sold on that either, but it'll throw in at least a slight chance right now. Maybe we could sneak in a shower for the second half of the weekend. Certainly nothing to be altering plans for right now. In general, this is a quiet stretch of weather for a lot of the next 10 days. And in general, a lot of sunshine over the next 10 days as well. Sean, hello. Hello to you. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Nate at 8. Appreciate it as always. Of course, you can catch me coming up News 9 at 10 on Fox 9 News 9 tonight. At 11 for the latest, we'll hopefully compile some more precise rainfall amounts as National Weather Service office in Pittsburgh usually we'll put out a public information statement giving some rainfall totals reported throughout the day. So we'll look at any rainfall reports coming in and relay those to you coming up at 10 and 11 o'clock. So make sure to stay tuned for that. In general, some much needed rain falling across the area, but right back into more dry weather likely as we look ahead for a lot of the next 10 days. I hope everyone had a good day and no less than desirable, but we picked up on some much needed rain. We'll be back to soaking up that sun then by tomorrow. That will just carry over as we go into the weekend. Again, you can always catch me tonight, 10, 11, as well as for that next edition of Nate at 8, as we'll be talking about some of those chilly mornings ahead into Thursday and Friday. So stay tuned for the latest. Maybe we'll even be able to drop those lows another degree or two. We'll see how cold we look to trend. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know where we stand with the latest frost potential over those 2 days on that next edition of Nate at 8 coming up tomorrow evening. Until then, I hope everyone has a great night. I'll see you on the next edition of Nate at 8.